What is up, y'all? Today I'm going to teach you how to do the air Raley. The things you're going to want to already know how to do when learning the air Raley, and I'm talking about an Airtrick Raley, are basically just a Raley off of the kicker. I have a tutorial for that already, so if y'all want to search through my videos, you can look for that and try it out. But if you already know how to do it, then you're probably ready to do it off the water. For the approach on the air Raley, I sort of like to cut to the inside of the buoys so I can get really to the inside of the cable as early as possible. Then I have a few seconds to just coast before I actually start to edge. When you are actually ready to start edging in, maybe a second after you have been coasting or so, make sure you really start to like progressively get on edge. Don't really just rip it. You don't want to get any slack before you get on your edge. Just sort of progressively go into it and then get on a solid edge. And this wants to be like a medium hardish kind of edge. Once you're on edge, I really try and keep my elbows into my body, but maybe not all the way in, just a little bit in and bent like that, and really, really strong with your arms. Also, I try and make sure my chest is pretty tall, and so I can really set back on the edge like that. Once you have really perfected your edge and have started towards the inside of the cable and are edging towards the outside, you really want to make sure you do the scoop a little bit past underneath the cable. A lot of times people make the mistake of maybe edging way too long and then they lose all their pop. The sweet spot is sort of just past underneath, so you will go underneath and wait just for a little bit, and that's where you're going to scoop. The scoop part of this trick is actually the most important because it's actually where you first release from the water, and that's where you're going to get your air time for the trick. When it's finally time to do the scoop, you will have your elbows locked just like I showed you before, and you're going to do that scooping motion. You'll kind of take that front foot, you're going to do that reverse Nike check motion and let that front foot swing out and behind you. You're going to kind of want to make sure your front foot scoops first and then follow with your back foot, because if you do them both at the exact same time and try and release both feet at the exact same time, sometimes you can sort of get a suction cup feeling on the water and you may not get in the air at all and actually hang a front edge. So really make sure you do that scooping reverse Nike check motion with your front foot and make sure you follow with that back foot. If you did everything correctly with the scoop, this should have sent your board drifting back behind you, and you should be actually in the air at this point. Now that you're in the air and your board has already drifted out behind you, the rest of this trick should be exactly the same as the tutorial of the Raley off of the kicker, but I will just remind you guys, your arms are already locked in like this, so you should have a solid amount of tension. And since your legs are drift behind you, the way to get them back under you, you will just take that handle and use that tension to pull down to your front hip, and that will hopefully let your legs drift back underneath you. You can just bend your knees on impact and ride away. The number one biggest problem I see when people try the Raley is actually them just being a really big pussy about it. So make sure you just go out there and be 100% committed when you're trying this trick. And what I mean by being a pussy is whenever you go out and edge as hard as you can to the outside of the cable and get as much speed as you can, and then you just bend over and do the little tiniest ollie ever and pretend like you gave it an attempt, and then you tell all your buddies, no, I swear I'm trying. No, actually you're not, you're just being a pussy. So make sure you actually try it. Another problem I see is when people actually have enough balls to attempt the trick, they sort of are in a rush to kind of scoop, and they sort of just let both feet release out of the water at the same time, and it causes that suction cup feeling, and you sort of just get stuck to the water and hang a front edge before they actually even get off the water. Just really make sure you do that Nike check swoop motion and let that front foot scoop out of the water first. Make sure you follow with your rear foot, and you should get out of the water safely. I'm just going to give you all a quick summary of the entire trick really quick. Yeah. Cut to the inside of the cable as you come through the buoys, just coast for a second. Roll progressively onto edge. Make sure you have those elbows locked tight. Make sure once you pass the cable a little bit, you will do that Nike check swoop scoop off the water. Let those feet drift behind you. Use those arms to actually pull your board back underneath you. Bend your knees and ride away. And yeah, that's how you do the air Raley. If you guys want to put any comments below on maybe any advice for people to try on their first try, that is perfectly okay, because I am not the best at air tricks in the world. So if you have anything special you want to say, put it below in the comments. Any questions, you can comment that as well. I'll make sure to reply to everyone. Anyways, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see y'all next time. Peace!